Hey guys, what's up? Lydia's in the lap, and we're going to talk about the Quick today. This is going to be kind of a longer format video. I'm loading up a mag right now so I can show you some of the features. But before we get started, I wanted to just give a quick disclaimer that I do sell these in my shop. So I wouldn't really say there's any bias. I think there's, XYZ. But this blaster is really, really, really cool. And the fly core system, which I'm going to talk a little bit about, is also really, really cool. And I think that it is, I don't want to say the future of the hobby, but it is definitely the future of flywheel blasters, 3D printed blasters and stuff like that. So the fly core is a pretty much all contained full auto flywheel system that allows you to just design a quick body around it, and then you can just wire in some switches and stuff like that. It makes designing new flywheel blasters very, very, very easy. It's massively customizable. This is what it looks like, semi-complete. This is the fly core without the full auto stuff in it yet, but essentially you got a little N20 motor that goes in there that controls the speed of the pusher. Now the pushers in the N20 motors that you can put in these can vary in speed, so you can get some really high speed ones and some really low speed ones. I have found that the best speed is the middle one, which is the 600 RPM. It's 15 darts a second. That seems to be ideal. Now, there are slower ones. There's a 6 dart per second version, and there is a ridiculous dart hose 50 dart second version, and it is just insane. I don't actually recommend building one of those because it's just not really designed to go that fast. But yeah, so essentially this goes in here. You got your flywheels, all that kind of jam. This is a full size specific one, so this will take your full size flywheels, day brakes, different millimeter spacings, all kinds of stuff like that. It's a great design, and there are cage sizes for all kinds of different flywheel setups. So this is the Flywheel of the World setup. This is perfect for HVZ. As you can see, it's much smaller. These are where the flywheels are. We're going to talk about this in a second. But yeah, so it's just a really, really, really intuitive design. It's super simple to make, super easy to service, and just makes a lot of sense, to be honest. Now, we're going to get into the Quick. Now, just a reminder, I do sell these. I sell these for around not $20. You cannot get a Quick for $20. $120 to $150 on my shop. That's fully built. Now, for this blaster, you can also go to OFD's Etsy and buy the files for it if you have your own printer and stuff like that, and print it yourself. It's a really fun, small little project, and I think the fly cores themselves are unprintable, so you're going to need one of these. You're going to need to build one of these to make this, and so yeah, just know that. Now, I'm going to start at the front and move back. First of all, I want to appreciate the super cool gradient filament that I used here. It looks so cool, guys. Like, this is such a cool blaster in person, and I wish you could all hold it. Lydia's readjusting. But yeah, so up front we have typically a flush front, and this one actually has an expanded battery tray, which allows you to use anywhere between your 900 milliamp batteries all the way down to some of the smaller ones. For this video, I'm going to be using a 450. So this is typically a Quick battery. You can use these in Quicks. This is just about the size of a Quick, but this one's full auto, and honestly, in my opinion, much better than the Quick. It's about the size of a Nightingale, or this isn't a Nightingale, Night Finder. I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, we got the battery tray up front. It's super easy to use. There's this barrel muzzle on top, and right below here, this should be a thumb screw, but I ran out, so it's just a normal screw for right now, but it will have a thumb screw at some point. Now, super nifty thing about this battery tray is the entire thing just slides right off the front, and there you can see there's an XT60 that fits perfectly onto this XT60. But I wanted to take a quick look inside. You can see there is a switch tray right here, and this is where all the magic happens. In the front, we have one switch, and this is a dual stage trigger, so you pull it a little bit and the flywheels will rev up. Pull it a little more and the pusher motor will start pushing. So in having that, it gives you a little bit of time for your wires or your motors to rev up real quick beforehand, and that's always a good thing. So this slides right back on. Sometimes it's a little nifty to get it in there, but yeah, it's just so fun, guys. Like, this is such a good CQB blaster. In this specific setup, it's a really good HVZ sidearm or primary. You know, it's nice and quick. It, you know, has just really good blaster properties. Not very loud either, to be honest. But this one has Valkyries and Flywheel the World wheels, which are very small and don't generate a ton of FPS, but it is a very good sidearm, which with how thin it is. You could like put this on your leg or in a holster or something like that, and it'd be very easy to just pull it right out. There's nothing big and chunky on the sides. Now, the Flywheel the World specific one is very thin, while the full-size flywheels are obviously, you know, quite a bit thicker, and they, you know, are a little bit more bulbous up here, and that's the standard that I sell in my shop, just because, like, you're going to get the best performance out of those, the best FPS, and I just have a shit ton of day breaks, so it's great. But you can also put Band Blaster cages and, well, not the cages, you can put Band Blaster's wheels and flywheels, wheels and motors into this blaster too, and have a really nice setup. So moving back, we have the trigger itself. As I said, it is a very nice smooth motion. It just feels really premium, and it's really nice. Moving back again, we have the fly core itself that is housed underneath this shroud, and the full auto setup. You can see the pusher activating right there. It's super nifty. This one does not have the OLED display, or LED display, whatever, the voltage meter. I don't know why I said that. This doesn't have an OLED. It's not a quick, or it's not a pew, but no voltage meter on this one. I can do voltage meters, and I will do this one, but this is just kind of like a beta build, basically. Mag release for not only angled talons, which works really well. Don't want to drop it on the Lydia, but it also takes Nightingale mags, which is an actual good use of these, unlike putting them in a Nightingale, which I was not super fond of. Yeah, it takes Nightingale mags. None of us really like Nightingale mags because they're a little too small, but yeah, it takes those and works really well. Now, with the 15 dart per second version, you can usually get off like 1 dart per trigger pull. Might be a little hard, you might get 1 or 2 sometimes, but you can hear it. It's just thwack, thwack, thwack. It's a lot of fun, guys. These things are great, absolute monsters on the HVZ field, and absolute monsters in CQB battles, close quarters, and, you know, just like, I want to say clearing rooms. They're very quick on the trigger, and they are very just small and compact and really good. If you want to get one of these, as I said earlier, you can go to the OFD Etsy and you can check out the files for these. Alternatively, if you're not super confident with your soldering skills or something like that, this does require quite, I don't want to say a ton of soldering skills, but it's a little tight in there. You might want to not have this be like mod a couple stripes first, then maybe tackle one of these. But if you're not super confident in your soldering skills, or just want to, you know, get one of these built, you can go to my shop, and I sell them for $120 to $150 depending on whether or not they're on sale. And if you want any custom colors, crazy things, or like, you know, your name on it or some crazy stuff like that, just let me know and I can take care of that for you. If you want some like gradient just like this, which is, oh, it just looks so good. It looks so good. Oh my goodness. Just let me know. I can do that for you. But thanks for watching, guys. For me and Lydia. Let me lift her up here. We want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And we hope you guys had a good turkey day. Me and Lydia certainly did. And thanks for watching, guys. I super appreciate all the support.